Hey everybody, it's Nathan from the AARPG podcast. I've got Matt with me here also. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We are doing another one of these shows where we interview podcasts that are a lot more popular than us and hope to bring their fans over to our side so they'll watch our bullshit.
And why are we here?
That's right. And Nathan, you're not supposed to tell them they're better than us.
Oh shit!
It's implied.
Stupid.
It's on the script. Literally line 3. Don't tell them they're good.
But the rolled standard, we've got 4 strangers. This is probably the biggest podcast orgy we've had on here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But and your guys are a lot younger too, so that's kind of nice. But anyway.
This is getting weird, man.
It's like some young energy.
These young, clean-shaven men.
Oh God! None of us are. You just can't see mine because it's very blonde.
As soon as you said that, I felt like the Steve Buscemi meme. You know, like,
oh, the hey
hello, fellow kids.
Yeah.
I like use that all the time.
That's wonderful.
I apply.
I'm in my prime. Anyway, so yes, the rolled standard. I adore these guys. I started listening to their Mork Borg stuff a while back, and then I said, they got a lot of stuff before that. So I started listening to that and as Pathfinder. Then I stopped listening to that and went back to the Mork Borg. It's great. Love them. If you haven't listened to them before, definitely check them out. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves? Because I know your voices, but I don't know your faces with your voices. So if you could help me out, and we'll start. I'm going to assume it's my left with the Star Wars shirt.
Oh, hello. It is me, Jacob. And my socials are at Von House for pretty much everything.
HAUS.
Yeah.
I have to help you with that every time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
Social security number?
No, but there's plenty of records of that.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Nate. The rolled Nate on Twitter. I really don't care about any other socials mostly.
It's going away. It's dying, man. You got to jump ship.
It's sad because we just jumped on it
now.
Yeah, I hate
I mean,
that.
X.
Yeah. X gonna give.
Is it literally changed its name?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
stupid.
So.
Yes.
That's awesome. Is it?
So make sure you check out my
That's
X
the
videos.
only reason we know any of these people.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I was saying, I feel the same way. Twitter's been the best social for connecting.
It's
with
been
community.
fun.
Especially
Yeah.
in the indie TTRPG setting. It is for podcasts like us. We have found so many cool people. We wouldn't know like any of the people involved in the Mork Borg community, especially like who helped us so much. Rugos and Walt and all those guys, especially. We wouldn't have heard about your guys' show or Pink Faux Hawk or any of the other like shows that we wouldn't know. And we did the show for a year before we ever got on Twitter, and it was like, oh God, why didn't we do this earlier?
You'd be huge. You'd be like a Critical Role.
The reason we went on Twitter was so that I could ask Rugos Cone his permission to use his stuff.
Yeah.
That was the sole reason. And then it became a thing where I kind of started like digging around. I'm like, okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah. Speaking of, who are you?
Like all these people.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Christopher. Yeah. I'm our primary GM. I'm on socials as @7CannibalChris7. I'm Cannibal Chris. Yeah.
Cannibal Chris.
So, yep.
And next and last but not least.
Hello, I am Levi. I don't do the Twitter, but @LeviBoozy. Follow me. I won't post nothing.
He won't reply to you.
I might reply one day.
Someday.
2 years later.
So thanks guys again for showing up and this has been a long time coming.
Absolutely.
So speaking of that, do you guys remember anything that particularly happened on 6/19?
Why? What trouble am I in?
Oh no. It's so specific.
I swear it was that. It's about a
So I'm going to read something here, and I got my little sheet here.
Oh my gosh.
And see if it rings a
This
bell.
is called
at
a
all.
summons.
I
knew it again.
This is what it was for? Man, they get so elaborate nowadays.
We've been doing this for 2 years just to get you guys here.
Man, got us served.
It's inevitable.
All right, so James, making Sandbox and Chill has been super fun. I'm excited for every guest I have and
Yeah,
learning
we know
about them and their work. Who would you like to me to interview? Nathan DCU, probably Dork Day Podcast and the Rolled Standard. But I have dibs on the Rolled Standard. Have you guys fucking heard of dibs? Do you guys not fucking respect dibs? What the fuck?
Oh my god.
I said,
Who did you
remember?
Who did you interview? Who did you just interview with?
Hold on.
That's fair.
Our biological clock is ticking. All right, we can't just be waiting.
If you recall, I responded to that.
Yeah.
I was like, why not both? Right?
Yeah, I got that here too. So,
Dude, he printed it out in dark mode. So that's just an ink burner.
Yeah, that's rage printing.
It's hard to
The whole time I'm using the ink.
You're the first person to approach the bench with like legitimate evidence.
Yeah, for real. Oh shit.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. Oh man.
So, welcome to our show. That's all
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
We feel very welcome now.
No animosity.
Yeah,
Now
none.
that I've abused you, you're part of the family.
Oh, yeah,
so-
that's how it works. That's how
Wait.
it works
Yeah.
here too.
That sounds pretty bad. But I'll take it.
No, that is how it works here.
Yeah.
Especially for Walt. He's an easy target.
That's true. Yep.
Anyway, so this podcast you've had it for how long now? How long have you been doing it?
Oh, 3 years in
It'll be
October.
3 in October. Yep.
Or at the very end of September, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the same time.
So
potty training.
whose stupid idea was it? Who's to blame?
I'd say mine probably. We've talked about it before. Chris and I talked about it a bunch when it was like just back playing tabletop stuff for fun. So I'd say it's pretty much 50-50 there. But during COVID, I was one of the lucky few to just get thrown money hand over fist to be a father. Pretty much, my son was born on the 24th of March, 2020. So everything locked down very soon before that. And I was like, great, I'll stay at home and be a dad. I'm not ashamed to do that in any way. But I just had a bunch of money and we'd lost our home game. And so we started playing on Roll20 with a couple of friends and everything like that. And after that was kind of petering out a little bit, I had talked to Chris and Aaron and I was like, guys, if I spend the money on getting this equipment, do you want to actually record? Like, do we want to actually double down on this idea we've had? And they're like, absolutely.
Then it was Zoom meetings.
Yes, Zoom meetings. And that was actually like second Zoom meeting in. Jake came back from Wyoming and he was hanging out in my living room. And he's just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on over there? Because we tried to do like a YouTube channel before, and it was the four of us.
Oh, God.
And we were not in a great place to be doing that in any regard. So it kind of died. And so he came back from Wyoming and I don't know, what was it, like 5 episodes into the show or something like that?
We finished Call of Cthulhu with Aaron.
Yeah.
And then you were right in the second arc. Yeah.
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 And we'd asked Jake to come in and it works so well with 3 people and a dungeon master, game master or whatever. So what is it, episode 24 or something, in the middle of our Monster of the Week arc, Aaron had to leave. He left for Pennsylvania.
Yeah, for his new woman.
Yeah.
Hey, that happened afterwards.
I know. I'm just still salty.
Yeah, it's good.
That'll do it.
Love you, Aaron.
Yeah.
And
He's a great dude.
then we were like, we worked so well with 4 of us. And Levi was the first guy that I ever talked to about podcasting. Like back when I was, 19, we were living in this shitty little apartment, and it was the only thing that I talked about for forever because I discovered like Kevin Smith's podcast, Smodcast, and I was losing my mind over how funny that was, and I'm like, this is what I want to do, and I've said this multiple times. But Levi was like, I don't want to offend you or anything, brother, but you're 19 years old. What the fuck do you have to say that anybody cares about? And I was like, fuck, that hurts so bad, but it's so true.
Yeah.
And then, however many years later, it all kind of came together. Like I didn't know anything about tabletop games until Chris was like, "Hey, we're thinking about starting a D&D game. Like, you want to play?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And then I had to know everything about it. So both of those two loves came together years later to do this. And I conned my friends into
I don't know
doing
if you
it.
conned me into, because I remember as a kid sitting with like a tape recorder with my friends like outside and recording like radio channel stuff and just pretending to.
Oh, sure.
So I wasn't. You didn't have to con me.
No, you were raring to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the things I think I've mentioned to our group is that like I wish that we'd been recording every game we ever played ever with our friends.
Oh,
like
man.
the whole podcast thing is great, but I just love being able to go back. It's like a permanent record.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a great thing, like, because it's such a good time. And now we've got the technology. We can kind of, go back. Well, all right. I don't have to edit it. So I just have to listen.
Oh, man.
I get to reap in the benefits, But no, so that's really great. So you guys also started around the pandemic, sort of kind of solidified it, or
probably 6 months after it started, I think was probably.
Yeah, because we started recording, I think in July, because we wanted to get 10 in the bag before we actually aired anything.
Yeah, we wanted that at least.
And we were recording weekly.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was man, it was weird. Like we were sitting on a floor, or like the floor in my basement around a coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
I'm super jealous of you guys being able to record in person. We're spread up and down the East Coast. So we don't we get together like once a year. But I'm super jealous of you guys being able to play and record in person. That's hasn't been a luxury that we have anymore. And I think that one of the things that after I started listening, and the reason I kept listening is because you guys have such chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't fake that.
No, we don't have any choice.
No,
we needed an outlet for resentment for each other. And that's this.
Yeah.
And you guys, it's nice, even though through video, I guess you can see, you see what other people are saying. I'm agreeing with it. We really miss our in-person stuff.
Yeah.
Right. There's that dynamic. It's immediate,
I can't
and
slap
so-
Levi's arms through the computer.
Yeah.
Right. You can't throw
Constantly
dice at
slapping him
anybody, right? You
again.
can't
Yeah, we
dice
don't do
check
that,
them,
really.
right?
We throw them across the room, though.
Yep.
I don't know. A pencil almost.
Throw
would be
dice.
excellent.
Yeah, pencils.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Levi threw a pencil at you and hit you in like the nose or something.
It was very close to my eyeball.
Yeah, you just got that patch off your eye too.
Yes.
It was
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you cut your eye out on work. That's
Yeah.
right.
Cut my eye
Levi
open.
lost a finger then?
That's
Oh
true.
my gosh.
Oh my God. We're losing all of our body parts.
One of us is
Holy
all
shit.
decapitated, but we'll still be around.
So you're
It's in
the
a jar.
inspiration for that meat game, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. This sounds like Pieces of Eve, right?
Yeah, like
Pieces of
Oma.
Eve. Yeah.
It should have been like
God, that game.
a prize.
We
for,
made
like,
it- we made a
top,
joke
top
about that.
Kickstarter or something.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
I just got rid of the tip.
No,
That's what I was going to ask. Did you really have it in the freezer?
You
Yeah,
piece
dude,
of shit.
100%.
Yeah.
I wanted to put it in.
You want to see it?
Then you put it down the garbage disposal.
Sure. Oh, wow. No, I
Yeah.
thought you meant, but you had the.
Oh,
is that how you-
I literally just got rid of
I
it.
hate you.
What did you
Oh,
do with
okay.
it?
I threw it away.
What? I thought you were doing something cool with it.
I wanted to put it in a D20.
I didn't.
Someone,
Someone
at the dump.
You were
someone
supposed
at the
to eat
dump is
that.
gonna find that finger, and there's gonna be a
D100?
fucking murder mystery.
How long ago was that?
2 weeks.
Oh, there's no way it's still in the
It's
dumpster.
gone.
It's gone.
I'm not much of a dumpster diver at all, but I'll look for that.
I'll start.
For a finger, yeah, hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna clone them.
Dude, I used to make dice all the time, and that's one of the things I wanted to do when I got back into it.
Put his finger in
Yes,
the
Put
eye.
a-
would've been
put a
I'll
finger
cut off
tip,
another
yeah.
tip.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Next winter.
Tip of what?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same.
I almost cut off the tip of this finger when I was 15 from working at a tire shop.
Oh wow, I don't
Yeah.
want to know how that happened.
Yeah, it was painful.
Everything's so cringy when it comes to that to me. I'm like, don't show me. I don't want to see it.
It
Want to see
doesn't
my new
take
burns?
No.
My fingers are constantly covered in burns.
Shit. Anyway, so you didn't start off right away doing actual play. So what was the path that you went?
Well, initially,
Evolution.
the format was like, well, the idea for the format was like play an episode of a game and then review it and then repeat, right? But then we were like, dude, there's no way you can review a game after playing it for like 2 hours. So we're like, well, let's just do arcs then. And so then the very first thing that we started with was Pathfinder 2e review because we just played it personally. And we're like, well, that's pretty fresh on the mind. That's a good place to start. And then I got the Call of Cthulhu starter set, 7th edition, in the mail. And that's when I started collecting games, which that's got out of hand. That's way out of hand. It's so bad. My half of my bedroom with my wife is just all books. It's glorious. I love it. She hates it. No, probably doesn't hate it, but probably does. So I got that. We played through the first adventure, which was like an episode. Like, this still isn't enough.
Actually, now that I think about it, we played through that and then jumped right into.
Did we?
Yeah, because you and Aaron and I went back and did the second and third episode after we had started recording like the first episode
That's true.
of Depths Adrasted with Jake.
Yeah, that's so long ago I barely remember.
I remember now.
But yeah, that is the case. Because I remember we recorded a lot of Fate Core and all of Fate Core and a little bit of Monster of the Week before we actually recorded Depths Adrasted. But Depths Adrasted aired before. Yeah. So like Jake actually, like your first episode recorded was actually like 4 or 5 episodes into the actual catalog.
Yeah, I'm always the one that fucks shit up.
No, it was because we had to wrap up Depths Adrasted because Aaron was leaving and he was GMing it. Like, we have to do this. Let's make this the number 1 priority. And then that was why. Yeah. I do remember things apparently.
Man. God.
Yeah. And then it was just like, next game, what are we playing? And it was constantly that. Mork Borg was always hovering around after that. Was after Numenera was like, this game. We got to play this game at some point. And then we're like, Halloween special. We'll do it. We'll play Open Graves. I wrote this whole thing.
Then fell in love.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And then we're like, after that Open Graves,
we'll play a little bit more.
Yeah. Then we played 30 some episodes of it. And then we're like, let's do it again. Let's get Rugos this time. We did that. And then we're like, let's just do it perpetually. Let's start another show.
Yeah. You know, it's like we dabble in a little bit in everything, but we've been doing longer arcs. So I'm also a little bit jealous that you tried so many different games, because there's some games in there that I've never. Call of Cthulhu's been around forever. I've been around forever, but I've never actually played Call of Cthulhu. Yeah. I did play Monster of the Week once. That was actually pretty cool.
Oh god, that's a good game. So fun.
We've never even successfully played Mork Borg.
Oh, that was your fault.
I don't know whose fault that was.
It's your fault.
Can you successfully play Mork Borg?
I don't.
Well, you have to actually start.
You have to actually start, and you have to actually not drink way too much. It was last year for our get together. I used to do the Friday night, and I was supposed to do Mork Borg, and I had a whole story and everything. And by the time we got ready, I was like, guys, I can't run.
Yeah, he was like, we're sitting there with characters.
We had the characters, everything. I was just like, as they're making their characters, I'm just like, oh no.
Oh, no. You didn't even start.
No. Everyone had just finished their characters, and that just, you know how sometimes you're going so fast, there's a little catch up. As they were making, this year we're having Revenge Mork Borg. I've got the adventure ready, so I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful.
Well, that's one of those things too, that like we're now getting into the habit of being like, okay, well, if you want to play Mork Borg, we're here.
Hey,
we're kind of. I mean, I don't want to suck my own dick about it or anything, but like we're kind of the guys, you know.
Yeah. I feel like we do actually have more live hours of Mork Borg logged than anybody. I think that might be true.
So far, you have to, because like I would not, as a podcast, I will not touch fucking Mork Borg. I will not touch it.
It's funny. You said that on a Discord server. At one point, and I was like, fuck. And that was like, you know what? Let's lock that in by starting Flail in the face. Now nobody can play it at all. No, that's kind of it. Yeah. I was like, ooh, that's the case. Cool, because that clearly meant, though, when you said that, I saw that as like, oh, we actually have a reputation now of being the Mork Borg dudes.
And there's an audience that wants it. So
yeah.
If anyone's going to do it and we have that reputation, I mean,
so
and it's like my favorite damn thing in the world. I mean, I have it tattooed on my arm.
Oh, do you?
Like I'm obsessed. Like, and so
great.
like let's fucking go. Like let's I'm very down to just just playing Mork Borg forever. I love it.
Yeah, it looks super fun.
It is.
Yeah. But you can play it. It's okay.
You're allowed to.
So we started out with Twilight 2000, and we started when it was an alpha. So literally, like, there's a couple of the bigger places that do like 1 or 2 shots of it, but we had a 17 episode arc. So until Dork Day came along, we were the Twilight 2000 guys.
Right.
So now we've kind of lost that crown too. So now we're just like random old dudes again. Or something.
Well, we were lucky though. We were willing to take the sloppy seconds though.
Yeah.
That was a nice thing when they came out and did their 3-shot. People listened to them. And were like,
you're talking Glass Cannon. I'm talking Dork Day.
Glass Cannon. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. When Glass Cannon we were like 4 or 5 episodes in of doing Twilight 2000. And Glass Cannon did their Twilight 2000, and then like our viewership like tripled. Like in days, so I was like,
sloppy seconds.
Yeah, sloppy seconds. Yeah.
Anyway, some people prefer the seconds.
You simultaneous
experience. Yeah, Levi. What elaborate?
It's like a good seasoned meat. It just gets better.
You don't want that kind of seasoning on your meat, though.
Maybe
you do, I guess. I don't know.
Don't
yuck his yum.
Fair. Oh my God. Wow. That's that phrase. Remember?
Yeah.
Wherever Levi says it, I'm like, God, that's stupid. That's a stupid phrase.
He was about to say it.
He did say it.
I did say it. Yeah.
It's fine. It's your show.
I got it from Tier. Tier brought that into the show, and I've hence stolen it. So
cool. The thing about Mork Borg for me is that anybody else I've seen do it takes it too seriously. Like they're very much like, oh, this is a dark hellish metal world, and so everybody's just like, yeah, I don't care. Like it's the most sad emo boy shit every time I see it. And I don't want to like shit on anybody's stuff, but like you need to kind of understand like where it's. I've always likened it to RoboCop. I love RoboCop, and like it's a perfect example because it's like if you don't understand it, it's just a dark kind of actiony movie or whatever. But it's fucking satire, man. It's jokes all the way through. And
I'll buy that.
You use that violence to accentuate the stuff that comes like as comedy later, and I think that's exactly like we went overboard with that. But really, we don't shy away from how shitty the world is, but we're also like, why would we make it so brooding and dark? Like I can't remember. God, I wish I remember the dude's name, but he had done. He was a guest on Critical Role for Brennan's story about the Calamity and stuff. It was a very, very good story. Brennan's an amazing storyteller anyway, but he played a paladin dude, and like all of it was good, right? But then the next thing that he showed up on was like a Mork Borg thing that they were doing. I was like, wow, this is going to be awesome. And I started watching it, and I'm like, this is very sad. This is very, very sad. Like not
don't get it.
Not watching it was sad. It's just like this. Nobody had the energy that you need to have for like a perfect example to me is how well Jake's character of the slapping bastard fit into us playing in Galgenbeck. It was like, this is a perfect example of what this game is.
Jake, I love that character. I was like,
yeah.
Because I don't get to listen as much as I like, especially when I'm traveling. And so I was in an airplane listening to that, and I was like dying. That was so fucking funny.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, I think Jake has one of my other favorite characters.
Of course. Oh boy.
Yeah, Jake's full of them.
He's got all the good
Curl, probably.
Curl, yeah.
It's always Curl.
Yeah.
It's always Curl.
Yeah.
Curl's the plushie, man.
Sorry. Yeah.
You need to
Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. No. There's Curl.
Yeah, dude.
There's almost something absurd in the awfulness of some of the games.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I know we struggle too. Like Twilight 2000 could be a super bummer. right? You're all starving and dying.
Yeah, it could be like Twilight the books.
Yeah, everyone's sparkling. And
see, I don't know much about like tabletop games. Everything that I've learned has been in these last 2.5 years. When I heard that you guys were playing Twilight 2000, I thought you were playing the fucking books. So I'm like, wow, these old guys are really into Twilight.
Because this interview doesn't change the opinion, does it?
Tony just posted something on Facebook about like, hey, I just realized that like the Twilight books,
Team Edward.
It's like a 100-year-old guy going to high school talking to high school chicks.
Oh,
that's like the whole show.
It's all gross.
Yeah.
So if that's what you think we like. No, we don't like that.
Okay, now that you put it that way, I'm glad you don't like that.
Confirmed now.
Well, you gotta think though, like since he's a I'm trying to justify it.
What are you doing?
Well, no, I'm just like because it clearly exists and it's clearly popular, but no one's seeing that because maybe that's not the case.
Oh,
but it is. No, but like maybe since he's like a teenage body, he's also a teenage mind, and he's just been in a teenage mind. He's never developed.
That's not the case.
It's not.
No.
Then I've never seen it.
I read the books.
You did? Wow.
I kind of like the books.
So you're that guy.
He was trying to find like minds.
Oh, right. You just put it out there like, hey, maybe you're like me. Please?
I've been known to be a broody boy. All right.
Yeah.
Man,
we're all edgelords at one point.
oh god, yeah.
I dressed like a farmer back in the day because I couldn't afford the emo clothes.
No. This is pretty close, right?
Yeah.
So you like log into Roblox and like, you're really mature.
Roblox.
Terrible. Is it bad that I do have Roblox on my phone?
Get away.
It's more, I play with my kid, all right?
Oh, okay. That's cool.
We need to replace you.
That makes sense. Nathan, what are you doing?
Well, my
Natalie
Tuesday
and I
nights are
play
free.
the paintball game on there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Splatoon or whatever?
Yeah.
Or no, that's
The Roblox version of it.
All right.
Yeah, no, creepy. So guilty pleasure for me is I like to play Fortnite, right?
Oh.
And I never played with a headset, and so I bought a headset, put it on, put on the audio, and I did not realize how many people are on there with kid voice things.
You made a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I don't use it anymore because I can't listen. I just there's faceless pixels. It's too weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me back in like Halo 3 and stuff like that. We got to enjoy it like a ton. But I go try to play Halo now, and it's just like 6 and 7-year-olds from Germany that are just kicking my ass and talking shit with the accent. Man, I can't do it anymore. I'm also like not a competitive dude in any way. Like if I'm playing games, it's going to be something story driven or whatever. Because I get too anxious when I have to do something and like actually be good at it.
Hey, when it matters.
Yeah, when it matters.
Yeah.
So do you guys play Mork Borg? Have you guys played? So I haven't listened to all of your different shows. So I just don't know.
Come on.
It is I've got some. Well, I tell you, my favorite of all that had me rolling laughing is you just guys did that 2 episode of that Wild West.
Oh yeah,
so
Frontier Scum. Oh man, I love that game.
That's the one that had me just out loud.
Oh, yeah.
It was so funny. So there's all kinds of other, there's like, what is it? Cyborg, Pirate Borg. Have you guys played any of those?
Pirate Borg.
Or
we played Pirate Borg for a 100th episode special. It was like a 4-hour episode.
Actually.
We did play it twice. Yeah, we had to like
Mothership, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Vasgrim, that's on my shelf. Pork in the Void's on my shelf. Every book you've held up is on my shelf.
I got Cyborg. Yeah.
He's got them all. He's like,
no,
Pirate Borg.
I don't have Pirate. We're gonna try and see him at Gen Con.
Yeah.
What? Lematron?
Luke Stratton.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I really, really want to play Pirate Borg at some point. That looks pretty. It's got a whole ship combat thing, and
that sounds dope.
We didn't do that.
We didn't do the ship combat.
Yeah.
It was. It looked daunting and kind of cumbersome. I was like, this feels like it might slow us down as far as our pacing.
The episode was already like 3.5 hours long. Dude, one of the things that I have killed
2 episodes. now.
3 episodes.
No, someone else.
2.5.
3, maybe 4 total.
Yeah.
I think.
By unplugging.
Yeah.
By unplugging the roadcast.
Well, the Pirate Borg thing.
Oh,
we
no.
recorded Pirate Borg.
That was a lightning
that one
bolt.
That
wasn't
was
my.
lightning. Yep.
That was lightning.
That took a whole town out.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
And we had like three some hours of like content just erased.
Just
So we did the
destroyed.
whole thing over again, and I had to rewrite it too to keep it surprising.
Yeah,
So
we had some
That
really
sucks.
fun stuff in that first
Yeah.
first recording of it too.
Fortunately, I write like just a bunch of random tables, pretty much, like in certain formations, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna cross these off and change the dice we're rolling.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to do a whole ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake and I editing that, like, we had to take time off of work to get that thing done, dude. It was like because we had so little time afterwards because we had to come back the next week and record it. We couldn't just do it then. I mean, obviously, we'd spent like 4 hours in my basement that night already, and it's like, okay, we can't keep doing this tonight.
We couldn't have anyway.
No.
I think the power didn't even come on.
yeah.
Or did it? I
No,
don't
it came
know.
back on, like-
immediately.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And we all just sat there because we were still stunned.
just-
it didn't even.
Oh,
hit
yeah,
us. The
they-
lights came on. We were like,
We were just silent, staring at the table. Yeah.
We couldn't even look at each other in the eyes.
Yeah.
well, we just
Yeah.
did do our part 0 for Cyborg.
Yes, we
actually.
did. That's September
Ah.
1st. We'll be starting our cyborg arc called Trigger Warning.
Already forgot what I made.
I'm not going to tell you because
Okay,
it's on record.
Oh man.
It's going
Yeah.
to be fantastic. Though.
So
I'm so
fun.
excited. We did a jam for it earlier this year, the Trigger Warning Trigger Happy Jam,
Yeah.
and it was just like, hey, make a bunch of like contracts for a bunch of mercenaries, pretty much to run, right? And so then I'm just going to kind of put them in a mixed bag in a way, and offer them as they'll have the choice of a few missions to go on. They'll be able to pick one, and then it'll be the submissions. So I wanted there to be like a blind draw in a way,
That's kind of how I feel like that you kind of like almost own Mork Borg now for AP, because you're not just doing the APs. You've really like you're part of the community. You're playing their games. You're involving them and you're like part of that community. You're the AV portion where you've got people like making.
Right, we're the Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
This is our family.
The look you gave him too, just like you're not joking.
No, that's actually one of the things we didn't realize, obviously, going into it or doing any other things that we had done. That was going to be the most fun part of it was like, oh, this is from this person and this is from this person.
Yep.
And that's why we do pretty much almost exclusively third-party classes as well on top of the adventures that we do. Like there's one thing that I want to do maybe for Flail, I think would be fun that we could do ourselves, like of our own. But that's mostly because it makes me laugh to think about bringing, I don't know if anybody else is familiar with Deuce Bigley.
That sounds familiar.
He's Levi's character near the end of Cold and Deathless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are some funny things that could be wrapped up in that world. And I think that bringing Deuce back and like subjecting, because doing Flail, we're kind of like right now the cast is set for this situation that we're doing things in, but after a while, eventually I'd like to step back so I could give my spot to somebody else for a little while and then come back in and whatever. I just want to, like, in the world where we're showcasing people's third-party content, why not bring people that love the game to come in and play?
People too.
Yeah. For real.
And I would love to subject them to the lunacy that is Deuce Bigley as well. And like it's the way that that part of the story ended, and there's like a character that's missing right now, and there's more enemy dudes that we avoided as best we could.
Right.
Those are all things that could be wrapped up, and I'd like to do that. But otherwise, everything that we do is so third party now, and like to see people get excited. Like one of the first things that really made us feel good in that regard was when we started doing like when Chris came up with the deathlessness stuff. He implemented CJ Eggett's Being Dead table into there. And it was so fun and funny for us to deal with. But he got on, I think he got on the Mork Borg Discord and was just like, there's people using my stupid shit.
And it was just like, hey, it's me.
Yeah. He was so jacked about it. And that right there just sparked it in us. So it's like, oh wow, more of this.
Yep. Well, yeah, and that was like, it's almost a stipulation if we're going to play a game, it better have a third-party license. Yeah, just so that we can showcase the fan, like the community around it.
Yeah, it takes almost nothing to let people make stuff for your your cool system, and to deprive people of that is very dumb to me. So I like to just be like, okay, yeah, it better have some kind of third-party license, or else I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, it's sort of it. Yeah.
So you guys had the author of the piece. So I'm not done with Pieces of Eden, but you actually have the author who wrote it as your GM.
Walton Wood. Yeah. He's a great friend of ours now.
Oh, yeah, that is super cool. I was like, what a great opportunity for him. Not only it's great to have people play, but to have him be able to run his material with the cast. It's really cool. So that's a great. I think that's a great interaction with the community, right? That's amazing.
Just to say it, he had written it with Tessa Winters.
Yep.
She had done a lot of that work, and I don't remember what happened where she had to step back from it, and Walt took over and finished it up and whatever else. I can't remember exactly the situation around that, but he shouted that out at the end of an episode. So I figured I might as well do it now too.
Yeah.
They're both wonderful people. I mean, really, everybody in that community too is wonderful.
The Bog folk have been great.
Yeah, for real.
I absolutely love that game, to be honest.
Yeah, like Homo's fantastic.
Something so easy to pick up and get lost into.
Yeah, we put Walt through the ringer, man.
Pretty much. We did. That's definitely true. Yeah. No, if the Bog folk have any projects, we're like, hey, we're here to promote you. Yeah. We're here to help.
What are you doing? Let me do some more.
Yeah.
And that's really the fun part of doing this. Like I never thought we'd start doing interviews, and we started with a guy I know named Mitch, who did this game called Necrobiotic, and he was my Matt's my Tuesday night game that I've had forever, and I've known Matt since high school, but they were my Thursday night game. So it's like, we'll do an interview, and then that went really well, and we just started talking to more people, and then I guess I on a whim I reached out to Free League and started getting them. We had Johan and Pella on the show. Johan on there twice, and they were so much fun and just so chill, just so easy to talk to, and you just you really connect with these people, and they're really the gamers just like us, and they really love what they're doing, and they're not doing it to get famous or rich or anything like that. So hell yeah, I want to promote what they're doing. And,
absolutely.
Having you guys here is like this really doesn't do anything for us. I just want to fucking talk to you guys and get you in the room and abuse you a little bit. But
it's a good platform. Yeah, it's a good platform to connect, right? I mean, I think that's been just and it's also with a lot of the interviews. There's also more than just the interview, right? We always get a history lesson or a behind the scenes, something as a gamer, just as an individual gamer. I gamed for 30 years, never talked to anybody really in the industry. Sure. And it's all of a sudden people are talking to you about supply chain or the history of how all these games, certain games came to be, and you're like, holy crap, this is a lot more
inspiration for a particular character or something. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we talked about Flail to the Face, but I didn't really tell anybody what it is. So who wants to volunteer to go into?
Ahead, Christopher.
Yeah, it's your baby.
All right. So Flail to the Face is a compatible with Mork Borg actual play podcast. It's co-produced by me and Kevin Welch, who was previously of the Don't Trust the Smiling Dungeon Master podcast. He edits it, which because I was like, if we're gonna do another show, we got to get somebody else to edit it because our plates are fucking full.
Yeah. Oh man.
But Kevin was like, yeah, I'll I was like, do you want to edit it? That's kind of the stipulation here. And he's like, yes. I'm like, well, then there we go. So, but yeah, it's bi-weekly. The point of it is really just to elevate and showcase third-party content. We started with Trapped Within from Philip Jensen, who was a good friend of ours as well.
That's very that's a very cyclical story when it comes to why it even exists, and the fact that we're playing it is very, very cool too for that reason.
Yeah, last year for the Cold and Deathless, we did the Cold and Deathless Northern Darkness Jam, and Philip Jensen made his very first thing he's ever made on there. for that.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, fuck, we inspired you to do this, then your work was, then he made Trapped Within, which was a fantastic, one of the best looking Mork Borg zines you'll find.
So good.
Beautiful. Us inspiring him to start that inspires me to start that. You know what I mean? It's cyclical, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what better place to start than with there's an inspirational case. So that show is bi-weekly. It's going to be, we started it during our TRS summer break, right? Which is us going bi-weekly. But now we've determined that since this is so much better quality of life, we do have another show to fill in the gap. Let's just stay bi-weekly.
Our Patreon supporters are what gave us this opportunity more than anything.
That's true, because Kevin was in there. Thomas was in there.
Yeah.
It's just, we have like a nice community of people within that are just all, we call each other brother husbands. Because and that's like, we didn't start that. Well, we started it in the story, but like then they started calling themselves that.
And like every morning somebody's in there like, good morning, bro hubs.
Yeah. And now I got to make like
Hello,
a bro
fellow
hub logo.
Yeah.
Which I did already, unfortunately. And you know exactly what it looks like. I guarantee
The
it.
orange and black one, we know.
Yeah. I know you know it. But it's just fuck. I don't even know where to go from there. But yeah, that's what the show is, and it'll continue. We'll have guests. Like you said, you want to step back from it at some point, and that's awesome. Whatever you want to do. My philosophy behind that is, if you want to stay here, awesome. If you want to go, awesome. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, you should probably leave so we can get someone else.
All right.
Never doing that. Yeah. I don't want any. I'm very cool with the cast. I'm also cool with a different cast. I mean, it's whatever. Yeah. I'm really happy that like my boys though could be part of the kickoff of the show.
That's why I wanted to be here right away too.
Yeah, that made it a lot more comfortable. So I'm not just playing with like people I half know. I'm playing with guys that I've sweated with. That's all. You know what I mean? Like it's my boys.
Cut that out. We know what you mean.
Yeah, I should have waited that differently. but no. So yeah, that's pretty much what Flail is. It'll be every other week that TRS is not airing. Every other Flail Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, and from September, I'm actually kind of stoked about this fact that all of September on until Cyborg or Cyborg Story is done, we're literally playing Mork Borg Cyborg for months. Yeah, and that's like, talk about cornering the market. I just thought of that. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of the case. I guess we're kind of definitely canvassing that.
Yeah.
But it's not like we really are going to bi-weekly. We just managed to
Yeah. Well, the plan was to go bi-weekly, and I'm like, let me fill in the gaps we're creating with another thing.
Yeah. And then having it, like, if we ever went back to weekly or whatever, it's like, oh God, this is so much then. We would have to
surplus them.
We'd have to have another editor for that. It was one of those things when we started doing the sound effects stuff in the show. It wasn't until I think that
Sundown Over White Hills.
Yeah, Sundown Over White Hills was where I first started putting a couple of things in, and then Cold and Deathless I started doing like more ambiance and stuff. Oh yeah. Open Graves I started doing more like ambiance and stuff like that. And
then Vossen was the first full arc.
Yeah, Vossen was the first full arc where I tried to keep like everything actively happening or whatever. And then
don't listen to that arc. I did the raw edit and fuck.
Yeah, it sounds great. I didn't even know that it changed hands, to be honest. When I got to hand it over,
yeah, Jake didn't want to say anything right away. He wanted to like test the waters and see what was going on, and it was just because I was doubling the time I was spending doing the editing because. All of it together was just wild. And I'd never done like sound effects like that before. Like throughout the beginning of the show, I do like voice modulation and stuff like that, or like for certain things. And so there was some stuff, but I never dedicated to the idea of everything being there. And really that's what I wanted to do from the beginning, but I didn't have any knowledge about it. Like I was inspired by Hello from the Magic Tavern. Oh man, so good. It's not an actual play podcast. It's like
it's not an audio drama. It's an audio comedy.
Comedy. Yeah, it's like a radio show or whatever, but like it's a dude that fell into a fantasy world through a portal behind a Burger King, and he's now in the magical fantastical land of Foon, and he had all of his podcasting equipment in his car, and he's getting some kind of magic, or he's getting some kind of Wi-Fi signal through the portal still.
This is
And-
the intro to the podcast.
Yes. Kind of paraphrasing it, I guess, but like he has two co-hosts, a wizard and a shapeshifter, and they interview other magical creatures, and they've been doing it for like 8 years. But because their editors are so good, like they wanted to make it feel like the world was lived in. So everything is there. They're in the tavern. They got the fireplace noises, some background of people like in the bar and whatever else. And they have like all the magic sound effects that the wizard Usador does and everything. And I was like, this is amazing. And I'd love to be able to fill in anything like in the background with stuff like this myself. But that was from the very beginning. I was trying to do it from the very first episode, and I just didn't understand it well enough as like finding all those assets and normalizing the audio and also all that stuff. It was just so much to do. And when I finally started doing it, it's like, oh God, this is amazing, but it's doubling the time I'm taking to do everything. And I can't do that. I'm going to spend days every week doing it. And so Jake took over cutting and stuff like that, so I didn't have to worry about cutting any of that audio, and then I just throw sound effects in it. And now Levi has given Jake an
actual summer break.
Yeah, an actual summer break, a little reprieve from it, and Levi's taken over the cutting and normalizing stuff and gives me the stuff to do the sound effects editing for. But I mean, I've touched like every episode, and it's one of my favorite things about it, as frustrating as it can be sometimes to get off of a midnight and then like spend the next 7 hours still editing or whatever. I'm like sitting there like my eyes stopped working. I can't see these waveforms anymore. Like, I don't understand what I'm looking at. When I get to send that audio off, because nobody knows what I'm going to put in here yet, nobody knows what it's going to sound like all put together. I send it off to Chris, and he'll be like, what is this? This is amazing.
I love Thursday nights, man. Like I usually get it. Sometimes I'm getting it like to the point it's so late that I'm like, I had to wake up at 5 to get this done.
Yeah.
But I'm usually up anyway that early. But so like there's Thursday nights. I'm so excited to be like to listen to the original or the final cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It is nice hearing it finished for the first time. I know we have a kind of a dual system where I do kind of the large cut. So I listen to everything. I mark, because we have unfortunately, we just keep adding people to our cast. We don't tell anyone.
A huge cast.
It's wild. It's ridiculous. Like I was joking with the one guy. I was like, we asked you to play like one time. You just said you stay, right? But so there is a lot of opportunity for like over talk and stuff. So a lot of where I help Nathan is I kind of like have to pick like, well, who's really talking about something means something, and who else is like whatever. That at least hopefully helps Nathan. I mark little things. And what's cool is that I hear the collection of the raw. I'll mark things like, put a blaster sound here or put some music here, but I don't really hear it. I'm not adding it. Nathan then adds it. And then lately he's been sort of like overindulging himself in the sound market. So I don't know how often do you record? Do you record once a week or once every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Every Monday.
Okay, every Monday.
So you've got some in the bank, right? So
we're getting there.
We have two in the bank right now.
Yeah,
we used to have like 8.
Yeah, and then we had none. We were recording Mondays and airing Fridays.
Yeah,
those are hell weeks, man. And that's why I think we went to the break. We're like,
our podcast is like a young adult.
To
We're
be
just
fair,
learning how to live
to be fair, the last 2 weeks, we recorded the episode 0 for Cyborg last week. Before we did the interview there. Sorry. And
not sorry.
And so we didn't have a main feed episode that we were recording there. And today we were like, we can really just kind of fuck off and record, and we'll do this. We'll focus on this.
This is today's only thing on the
because an episode 0 is usually very easy. It's just making jokes where we make a character, But there's no way that we could find any time on either side of this to dedicate ourselves to an actual first episode of something. Yeah, so we're just like, we'll do it later. But otherwise, if we weren't doing this stuff, which I'm glad we are otherwise, we would have another couple of episodes in the bank, maybe 3-4, depending on how much time we spent on doing it.
It depends, but ideally we have like 4 hours to record, like a 5 to 9, right? And we just figure like there's 2 blocks for 2 things,
And we usually
Okay.
get one done.
So
yeah. I mean, we've been a little better about it as of late,
Yeah,
to be honest.
recently
Because
been way
we've
better.
got other people involved, you know.
yeah. So, but
right.
you try to record 2 episodes in one night.
That's
This
the
is a
goal.
relatively
Oh,
new
nice.
idea
Okay.
to it. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but there's times where we've recorded 3, and that third episode suffers.
It's
I just get fatigued. All of us do, and I just like don't want to do it anymore.
7 hours straight. It's trying to be funny.
I mean, which is surprising because like back in the day when we played D&D before the podcast,
We play 8, 9,
it would be
10
like
hours.
it would be like noon to 10,
Yeah.
and then just those were insane. But it was a lot more passive, right? It wasn't, but it was like a dozen people playing D&D. Half of them are outside smoking cigarettes because they're waiting for their turn to come up in an hour. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
painful. Those are, I know, the painful pace, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't like blame anybody for it. I really don't blame anybody for it, but like
There was like 10, 12
a lot of-
people at the table.
a lot of
too.
people were a lot of people got there to, you know, like, hey, I'm hanging out with my friends every
Yeah.
it wasn't every week, it was
It was every other Saturday.
every other Saturday. And a lot of people were like, hey, I'm here to hang out with my friends, like this is a way to facilitate that. And it's like, that's
I
fine.
sneeze.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Fuck, not it'll happen when you won't expect it.
He's camera shy.
No, I feel it. I think it's just this filter.
It's just that's fine if you want to come hang out with your friends and stuff, but Chris and I especially, and Aaron, the 3 of us, that's why we started with the 3 of us, is that we were there to like tell a story and be a character and do a thing, you know.
Yeah, that was literally
And-
how that trio started, because I was like, remember I called you?
Mhm.
I think I called you, and I was like, if we had to play with like another dude, who would it be?
Aaron,
Like
instantly.
Aaron, fucking, because then he wasn't part of that group anymore because there was too many people. He was just like, this is chaos.
It's like, I
Yeah.
can't sit here for 8 hours and not do anything. And I feel that in my soul, man. Like,
yeah,
and anything that was like storytelling, it got halted completely by any sort of combat that we ran into, or any like we go into a city and it's like, okay, now 14 people want to like shop in this place. So okay, I'm gonna go home and I'll be back in like 4 hours. You guys will be figuring this out. But because of that as well, Chris and I sat around and paid attention to everything for 8 hours at a time, and then other people are like, wait, what was happening here? It was like, I can't explain this to you now. And
I'm not gonna yell again,
No,
okay? But I'm gonna.
So that's when COVID hit and we started doing stuff on Roll20, and we had because my fiance was involved in everything after the first episode, or not episode, but the first session that we did. My brother dipped out of it. He's not a TTRPG kind of guy, but he dipped out of it. He's like, I understand why you guys like it. It's very cool and stuff, but I guess it's not for me. And I was like, that's fine. I get you. And I had asked the guys like, hey, can Heather come and join? And they're just like, this is going to be the worst. Like this guy has played once with us, and he's going to bring his girlfriend in here, and it's going to be bad. And it
wasn't.
It was the opposite. So we, when COVID hit, we started playing on Roll20, and it was Chris and I, playing Starfinder, and Aaron, our buddy Dan, and Heather and
Butler.
Aaron Butler. So we had a little group, and it was great. Then Aaron had to leave, and
Aaron had to leave,
and all this stuff happened. It's like, this is when it's dwindled down to a point where we could probably put a group together to do a show. So, but we had a lot of great people come in and out of playing games with us. Levi came in a couple of times, did a couple of one-shot stuff.
That's true.
When I was convinced of it, really, we were playing this huge story with another guy DMing it, and Levi comes in as some kind of like frog folk type of paladin. The whole time he's just going through books, like looking at things. Like, okay, this spell does this and this thing and then whatever. And he's like, okay, what was going on? And then it gets to his turn, and then he's just like calculated savagery. It was so good. And but no, actually, like that part of it too. After Aaron left, we're like, we needed to have another person, and Levi had listened to the show like
I was a fan
every week. He was a fan of the show, which is insane to me, considering like he didn't really listen to a lot of podcasts at the time, especially. And
now you listen to like all of them.
Yeah,
I listen to a lot now.
And to find the time to sit around and listen to the dude he's known since he was 9 years old talk bullshit on a podcast. I was like, I don't know how I don't know how you deal with it, but he called me up every Friday and be like, dude, what is going on right now? How are you doing this? And when we found out Aaron was leaving, we were like, dude, we don't want to feel like we're replacing you, like goodbye and good riddance type of thing. But like it works very well with 4 people. He's like, I am not going to feel bad about this.
No, he didn't. There was no hard feeling at all.
And
he understood we had to keep going.
Yeah. And that's when we invited Levi into it, and it's all the better because of it, man.
Yeah,
I've said it a lot
fantastic.
recently, but he's just like, Levi's the best of us.
Yeah.
he dedicates so heavily to
think
whatever
of like
it is that he does.
how unique Dennis or Lord Wolf or
Lord Wolf especially. My God.
Lord Wolf stole the damn show. Like that was the main character of.
We were two dudes that were hanging out with like a religious zealot and like the like. I don't even know how to describe what Lord Wolf became.
A lot lizard.
she became the prophet that you were looking to become. That's what it was.
Pretty much.
She was a martyr for the cause, and it was amazing, man. She took no shit.
Yeah, that was a fantastic story.
God.
I should have jumped out that window.
I love that scene though. When you're just standing there and realizing it's not your
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh man, that's so funny.
That's kind of the one of the interesting thing about doing an actual play, especially when you're going from story to story. Sometimes just one person will really take over as kind of the star for that for that arc or whatever. And that's happened to us a few times. Matt for Bubba Fott for the Battle Lords thing was like
that was not my original character concept. But when they were talking about that, they had a race of giant space redneck bunnies. I was like,
oh, that sounds amazing.
Not even it's barely a stretch, right? It's just like.
I think I've only had one in all the time that we were playing, and that
Bright Lord.
No, God, no, it's not the Bright Lord.
Oh, it was definitely meat.
It was meat for sure, 100%.
A shit bit me.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite Nate lines.
Oh my God, so good. There's like another line that Chris said was something about him, like not the brightest ball type of line or whatever it was, or whatever. And it was so early on. I was like, okay, I got to establish who this dude is. I'm like, thank you. It was like a few tools short of a full shed. I can't remember what it was. Just, thank you.
So one thing I know about all the stories, but you guys don't shy away from character death either.
God,
no. You're playing brutal systems, right? But I mean,
back to back, 2 different shows, I've been dead.
Yeah,
Jake dies all the time.
There were multiple episodes of Mork Borg where it was.
I took a vacation.
It was just Levi and I.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Jake
right, yeah,
definitely the murder hobo.
Yeah,
what? No way.
He's a murder hobo, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the longevity of any character he has, so he gets to be the fodder almost every time.
That's not entirely true.
Well, I mean, like most of his characters,
I have calculated moves.
I don't know. Most of your characters are like most of your characters nowadays are middling between like single and double digit IQs, so it's easy to be like, "Hey, go into that room for me," and you're like, "Okay." And then it's just 19 blades come in and stab you from different directions.
Corduroy bean water.
Corduroy bean water?
He was
corduroy bean water.
Not even my character.
I'm thinking specifically Mork Borg, but yes, that dude, I swear. He did not care about whether or not he was going to die, though, either, to be fair.
That may be true.
It's fun. It is fun to play that way. It is super fun.
But yeah, that's MCC. That's what we're finishing up.
Radiation damage.
Okay.
Radiation.
I honestly do try to give I wait a little bit before they go insane. I look at the development of my zealot, as you call him.
Yeah.
How about Paul though?
What about Paul? He was a desperate farmhand.
How long did he last?
He was desperate.
2 episodes.
Yeah, 2 full ones.
Oh man.
I assumed Flail to Face was supposed to be quick and dirty.
I mean, a flail of the face generally is, but no, I mean it kind of is too. That's actually a good point.
The funny thing is both characters involve The Rock.
The Rock, like The Rock.
Why I was dead back to back.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, I think you meant like Dwayne Johnson. I was like, D-Rock? I don't get it.
He listens too. He just hates me.
That's what they have in common.
Huge fan of Chris. So.
Yeah, right. This is my hair.
Hey, Chris, do you do all the art?
Yeah. Well, like I have guest art occasionally from other people, but yeah, for the most part, I do all of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding.
Because you definitely capture especially with the Mork Borg stuff, you capture the vibe for it really well. And,
I overthink it. So.
Nothing
when you
wrong
do
with
that, it comes out pretty well, actually.
Because I come up with the names of the episode just after they air or during the episode. I'm sure you've heard that where yes, that's 100%
it's part of our ritual too. Like we don't leave the table after recording until that episode has been named.
Yeah, and
or at least leave your house.
We also and we also talk a lot about what would be good for cover art for it too.
Yep, and I sometimes do that if it's something I can actually achieve. I learned that all myself. It was part of the thing. Like, well, these need like something, so let me just learn to use this. And I started working with Krita, which is like free Photoshop, essentially, kind of. And then now I just recently, as of halfway through Goosefig, moved to Photoshop.
Wow.
Now so I'm kind of learning it all over again, but like it is a bit easier. But yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just learning things, watching little, very specific tutorials on how to do a very specific thing, and then applying that, and then.
Me with sound effects,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's how we all like just kind of when you teach yourself things. That's pretty much the process. Google a very specific thing.
Yeah,
learn that thing. Yep. Don't learn any fundamentals around why it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just build what you can with the tools that you've learned or acquired. That's pretty much it.
That's great though. We have an artist in the group, but getting him to actually make any art is like pulling teeth.
It's been a 30-year saga.
Yeah, he's.
Hey, if you want guest art, just hit me up. I'll gladly give you something. I don't know what it'll be, but
you could do art for this episode.
Ooh. It's just going to be 4 graves and then 2 old guys standing over them. I feel like I did that one already, though.
Peeing on them, right?
Yeah, or whatever,
It's like a truck bumper sticker.
Bloody urine streams.
Oh, I like this.
This is actually okay. I like it.
Very asymmetrical.
No. When Chris decided that he was going to do art for every episode, I was like, damn, dog.
It was Starfinder.
Do it.
It was Starfinder where I started doing that.
Yeah. Oh, well, especially then I was very interested. I mean, I was terrified to do Starfinder. So like to have like a moment in there captured like for the first time while we were doing the show, I was like, this makes this so much cooler. Thank you.
And that was like part of the reason I started doing it only every episode for that was because I wasn't GMing, so I had the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then it was like when I started picking up GMing again.
It's like,
which was immediately after that.
I can't.
I'm like, I have to keep doing this though, because I've established it as being a thing. And ironically, so since it's podcast art, right, it has your standard square dimensions, right?
Yeah.
It's like an album cover. So you would think that would be the initial inspiration, right? But no, it was comic books, and they were the wrong. I was making them according to comic book specs, like the covers, and then I was resizing them incorrectly, like by literally like dragging them to a different size or whatever. And then I'm like, these all seem a little warped. This seems stupid. And then I was like looking up, just doing some random research, and I was like, oh, they should be like album covers. It's a very late lesson because we were like a year and a half in before. It's halfway through Vossen where they started changing size.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, that would feel kind of stupid now, like because I'm a big metal dude and like records and like
really?
Albums are really important. Yeah, right. Funk. No, but you'd think I'd have started there, but I didn't. So whatever. Oh, I'm hitting the table constantly, aren't I? Lots of noises.
That's fine. I'll take care of it.
Okay, cool. Well, we don't have to edit this. What are you worried about?
Because they just have it now.
Yeah,
that's right. You guys could do whatever you want. Smack the mic. It's all on Nathan. It's okay.
Just fucking flip the table.
That's right.
Yeah, just constantly like.
Should have worn the rings, right? You could just.
I should have worn the rings. Ting, 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 just so loud. Look at Mr. T in here.
We have I don't know if you guys. So another good thing about playing in person, I guess. I don't know. For us, because we're doing a VTT, everyone's on a computer, and I will tell you there is a variety of loudness of typing.
Oh yeah,
like we have we have some. I'm guilty of it sometimes, but we have some other folks that went through period. It's just like clackety clackety clack the whole time. Just clackety clack. They're sending personal messages, clackety clackety. So that's one thing.
So there's like that stuff, and we literally had a tiramisu, eating the whole tiramisu.
I've heard of that.
Lots of popcorn and chips.
The nerve.
I mute my channel when I take a drink of something.
Yeah. We'll call a full on break if one of us has to like stop or drink something.
I'm not gonna lie. I was getting into a lot of trouble early on using text to speech to send messages on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Really?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was like, wait, what? Went over my head
Because of the typing.
Hey,
right.
Siri.
Make any noise?
Just right in the mic.
Oh shit! But so love all that stuff. I love that you do your art. I love that you're doing sound effects. I love that you're like able to kind of do 2 shows. That's fucking amazing.
It's like every game we've added something new to what we do.
Yep, just another layer to add on top of it.
We never really take anything out. We just add.
Yeah,
true.
It's probably why we're going a little crazy.
I mean, that's the thing. Once you keep adding things, you're literally adding things for you to do.
Yeah,
and you're not adding time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, really, the sound effects one is hilarious for me all the time now because everybody's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna do an insane thing that you're going to have to put in here." I always refer to one from Vossen that Jake.
No, it's Kids on Bikes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Kids on Bikes, where he's like. He's talking about how his dad works at a junkyard and stuff, and we're hot wiring a truck. And he's just like, I'm just going to get in the back of the truck. I'm going to grab these empty beer cans. I'm just going to start hitting them with a bat. I'm like, oh, yeah, that very specific shit that you want me to put in here? Thanks a lot, brother.
To be fair, though, the sound effect you pulled for that, I don't know what it actually is, but it sounds pretty fucking spot on.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I have no idea anymore.
I didn't even consider that.
No,
I was just narrating what I was doing.
Well, here's a good example of something recently that, I love the weird places I get stuff from sometimes. Like, in the latest episode of Radiation Damage, there's a moment where something shoots out like a weird laser net thing. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this right now. There's like no real great way to get an asset for something so specific. So I just found like a really like a digital noise that I already had from a sci-fi file. And I added the sound of a potato gun to it.
Dude, did you? That's what you did? Oh, that's so good. I love that.
It sounds so damn good. I'm like, this is amazing. Or like there's a part in Mork Borg where a bunch of goblins were coming out and Chris talked about them like yelling all angry and shit. And I was like, well, what the fuck do I do with this? So I took, because Jake yelled back at them in Curl's voice multiple times. So I took it and I pitched it up and I just played it backwards, like off in the distance of it. And it was like, I waited for anybody to hear anything about it. I was like, okay, I got to tell you guys now. That was Jake.
There's still things where like you do things like that and I have no idea what you did. Then when you tell me, I'm like, really? That's what that was?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of those just get you too. Like when the soup blew up. Right, when he became a skeleton, I was driving to a dentist appointment, and I'm just driving to Minnesota roads, which is relatively boring. And then that explosion, and I swerved. It just startled the crap out of me.
Like there's ones that are just so fun to do. Like early on, in another early Mork Borg one where there was a skeleton that was like leading us down a hallway, and we asked him a question, and he's like, he just shrugs, and I just put like a weird little clack sound in there, and it was just so perfect. Or anytime somebody says that they slap another person is my favorite time. I'm like, yep, grab another slap sound, throw it in there. Oh, it's so funny.
There was a full episode where Dennis was Soup was slapping Melville around the whole time, and your arms were dead or whatever.
They were
gone. That's right, removed from the body. Yeah. That was. How many did you put in there? Do you know?
I don't know, like 5, 6 of them. Just in that scene alone. I don't know, man.
You kept saying that, like I slap him again.
Yeah.
God damn it! Shit! Stop it!
Yeah, I was gonna say it gets really addictive. I know. So Nathan, we use stock, but Nathan. So here's so This is where
we're
your
going
obsession.
on an adventure.
This is where
field
your
trip.
obsession is going next. Is creating your own. Right.
You're
So
a
that's-
Foley artist now.
So
I'm-
Nathan
I'm
is taking
getting
on
there.
like we even had a get together. He had us all go like our kids. Everybody recorded zombie sounds, right? So everyone did
nice.
zombie.
That was fun.
He
That was
blended
so-
them.
Yeah, his little
so
boy did
there's
it.
your
They were,
next
like,
level
awesome.
of obsession that's coming. Is you're finally going to be like, there's no asset for me. You're going to find yourself waving something underwater in your bathtub or whatever you did for that blaster. Like, so
Yeah.
he does weird. He goes out like people must think he's out recording out in public. I don't know what he's doing. It's just like
Neither
but,
does he.
yeah, it gets really I guess.
Leather is always nice to have.
I agree.
Wow.
For various reasons.
That's
I'm not gonna say
amazing.
where he got that from, but it's
It's human leather. I recognize that guy.
My dad's a cellist, and this is his. He puts down on the floor, and this is where the cello peg goes to keep it from sliding around.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's what we tell people.
yeah.
It's really
It's not made from people.
That is his dad.
Oh no, Father!
Soon.
Man, that is harsh.
Oh my God. It's gonna have me a new fucking Foley art.
Matt I can tell you, I'm super morbid, so
Yeah, that's fine.
Believe us.
Yeah, no, we're fine with that.
God.
I mean, Jake, on Flail recently, you did some things to a goblin's rectum.
Just recently, or every episode.
Yeah, there was a lot of goblin fisting.
Kevin did some dirties too.
No, he didn't. He
to
made a
me-
joke
to-
about it.
He killed a fetal wyvern.
I mean,
Oh,
he
yeah,
fell out of my
yeah,
prison
the big-
pocket.
yeah.
Oh, he did, yeah. Oh, he does. He does. Next week.
No,
you can't let the fetus defeat us.
What? Oh,
So
right.
you,
Yep.
you can't let the fetus defeat us. This is actually what I said in a episode. I'm just started editing, so
We actually
tweeted
do
about
cut
it.
some things out.
yeah.
Believe it
we
or
do
not,
too.
for as
Yeah.
vile as our content is, we have a few things that we've talked about and been like,
there's a reason.
Probably.
There's a reason we do not live stream anything.
Yeah.
There's no way, man. No,
we were terrified.
We have to be on
were
our best-
terrified when we did it.
Best behavior when we do live streams.
when we record, we're on our worst behavior. So
Yeah,
That's actually
but it's
true.
the most
Yeah.
fun. It's the most fun.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there will be a time coming up where we will have to bust that.
Nut?
yeah.
No,
No,
there we go. That's fine. It's fine.
All right.
It's more hilarious.
As
to me
long as it's
because,
busted together, then it's fine.
I mean,
There's going to be a lot of us busting it together. I can tell you.
It's like as quiet as Levi is here now, he is he's a sniper with horrible, dirty jokes.
Oh my
all
god,
over.
he's so creepy.
Oh man, it's amazing.
It's the best kind of creepy. That's the kind of creepy that you want,
It's like
whatever
damn.
that means.
Like as soon as I listened to you guys, I knew we'd vibe because there's definitely a lot of just very immature, morbid humor that gets thrown around.
Before we started recording today, me and Chris were outside and we were talking. He was like, "You're gonna vibe with these guys." I'm like,
I told him about the chest burster, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
buddy.
That's why I
Yeah.
was like, Levi, you're gonna love these guys. They gave away a chest burster butt plug, and he's like, "Oh, cool!" like that was the thing. Like, "Oh, I'm gonna love these dudes." Yeah.
That was like the craziest thing, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy just out of nowhere. Like how did you find him on? I don't know how you find this guy. It was,
Yeah, I found him on the Alien
Reddit, right?
subreddit, and like he posted a picture, and I was like, I commented something, and we started bantering back and forth, and I gave him a link to our podcast. I was like, oh, this is great. It's like, and this is, you know what, if you want this, I'll send it to you. I was like, fuck yeah.
Wait, so you bonded with a dude on the internet over butt plugs?
Yeah,
Just wanted to
alien
make it clear.
chest burster themed butt plug specifically. So
Right. Okay.
My
okay.
only question, it's very cool, but my only question was, is it used?
it's probably used now. Sorry, Craig. You're out there, the owner.
we're gonna be so he's got an Instagram, Buddy T Burster on Instagram. So
my God,
he
that's
takes them on hiking trips.
Oh,
And we're gonna,
Yeah.
cool.
and we're gonna be reunited at Gen Con. So we're gonna have some
we'd love to
some
go.
group photos with Buddy.
You got to have like that picture. You know what I mean? Talk about reuniting.
The size of this thing is not for amateurs.
Oh wow, it's really hard to tell, actually. Yeah,
it's not a trainer.
It's
is that a technical term for that? Yes. Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a plugger. Not yet. Not yet. But I mean, I'm learning tonight.
Well, if you go to Gen Con,
Oh man, we want to go.
I don't. Yeah, I know for a fact. Like I can't speak for all of us, but I know that I can't go this year.
I know, man. I can't for sure.
Yeah, this is my first time ever.
Yeah,
This is
me too.
Yeah, we've never been before, and
Man, it's so far away, and that's really what it is, man. Like, because like actually getting tickets to the floor and all that stuff, they're not expensive, but going from Minnesota to Indiana is not a cheap trip. So it's I had some miles and Matt's driving.
Yeah, so, I'm driving. I'm crazy. We
probably would too.
Driving's cheap.
I'm going to make it a 2-day. I'm going to stop probably in Ohio somewhere. But it's just we just happened to luck out too this year because I'm on a fixed schedule that's weird, and so it all came together. So looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. We've only done one con before. We did a PAX Unplugged in Philly, and that was nice. It was a nice size con. I'm a little worried. I've heard a lot. This is going to be very overwhelming at Gen Con, just the sheer size of it.
It looks crazy, but So if you can make it out to like a PAX Unplugged sometime or something else, maybe we can get together for some frosty beverages.
That would be wonderful.
Where are you guys located?
We can share an Airbnb.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
come on, Levi. That's a bit much, Levi.
I mean, it's cheaper.
It is cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Right. And that's why.
Yeah, I get to wear my Speedo around the house.
Okay, we're doing that.
So Airbnb, one stipulation with us, with our group, especially, is always has to have a hot tub.
Oh, fuck yeah!
There's a lot of hot tub going on.
Old man soup.
Old man's, yeah. There you go, old man's soup.
Oh, I thought it was
a lot of water displacement.
We need to be in bed at 9.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I'm in Maryland. I don't know if you can see my flag up there, but
we're all over. Like, so Nathan and I, Nathan's Maryland, I'm Virginia.
Oh wow! Okay,
and then
for some reason I thought you guys were in Wisconsin.
We would have been so much closer.
I thought
we're like down the street.
Yeah, that's Wisconsin, pretty much.
Yeah, and then we got Jersey and Pennsylvania now,
in Tennessee.
Oh, wow. And
you really went all the way down the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not kidding. So yeah, it's really special when we actually do finally get together. It's
sure.
Yeah, a lot of bro hugging.
A lot of bro hubbing.
Yeah. The furthest away for us is here at Levi's house. He's 5 minutes away.
Yeah, he's in the next town. We all live in the same one. The three of us.
Oh, so which side of the tracks is Levi on? Are there tracks?
Okay. No. There's a lot of tracks between here and there, isn't there? There are. Yeah. Actually, I think you three are on the same side, and I'm actually on the other side.
Yes.
Chris is on my side.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Am I?
Yeah. We cross tracks to get to their side.
Oh, we do. You're right. Yeah, because I haven't crossed any tracks to get. Okay, you're right.
Literal tracks.
Literal
tracks. Yeah.
Way to bring in a good social divide there, Nathan. That's
no, we're gangs.
He's funny.
This kind of gang
at the table.
Yeah. No. Actually, that's true. Me and Levi sit on one side, and then these two sit on the other side. This is our usual setup. Usually, it's us two facing them two.
Yeah. This is my cellar.
I'm usually staring into Chris's eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm constantly looking at Jake, because that's what I'm used to. Even though he's over there, I can still have to.
Yeah, I do the same with Levi. Him and I always got like the "what the fuck is going on" look.
I hear the dogs.
Shut up! They're usually pretty quiet, but there must be some male person outside.
Yeah, sure.
At this time of night, 7:30 at night.
FedEx dog.
Oh,
UPS.
fair. That's fair. Yep, the FedEx dog.
They're always slow.
Yeah, I was in sometimes I don't do it as much anymore, but a dog used to come in sometimes when I'd record.
Oh my God.
And I was in a class, and somebody because I had my mic off, whatever, or my video off, and they're like, "Hey, are you awake?" I'm like, I turn on, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm awake." I'm like, "Well, who's snoring?" Oh.
It makes the most sloppy mouth sounds.
There's
Mouth sounds kill me, dude.
yeah, we have a sweet clip of like 6 seconds of mouth sounds we can send you.
You have no idea how many mouth sounds you can fit in 6 seconds.
They're removed from like the episodes. Yeah. It sounds like wet slapping. Seriously, it's really gross.
I guess I've got a smack, right?
You have a smack. I know everybody's vocal tics now. Like 8 people, I know all their vocal tics. But his dog for the zombie thing, I also recorded his dog doing mouth stuff for the zombie too, which worked perfectly. So if you ever
Again, phrasing, Nathan.
Yeah,
phrasing.
You recorded his dog doing mouth stuff.
what do they
That's the name of this episode.
Dogs doing mouth stuff?
Oh, God.
All right, that's it. Dogs doing mouth stuff.
This far in.
Dogs doing mouth stuff.
2.5 hours in.
That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. Yep.
I mean, for a Cyborg, it was where's my fucking book? So
Dogs doing mouth stuff.
If you look at the Cyborg interview, it's WMFB, because right like how I accosted you guys, I accosted him and I said, "Where's my fucking book?" Because I didn't have my Cyborg book from the Kickstarter.
Oh, right.
Yet.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Do you have it now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a Kickstarter problem.
Yeah.
So does Chris.
Yeah, I get you, buddy.
That's a good thing.
We'll hug. It's fine. I don't know why we're hugging.
Don't stop. But yeah, so where was I going with that?
I don't know.
You left off
mouth stuff.
Yeah.
Mouth stuff. But zombie sounds, dog mouth stuff is great for zombie sounds. Anyway,
Yeah. Your show. I'm just here to answer questions.
yeah, we're having fun. It was
That's how you know that you're actually having fun.
because you lose track of time. You don't know where you are.
It's real.
I'm wandering down the street, and there's like a cop car pulls up next to me and says, "Hey, buddy, do you know where you are?" And then he takes me back, and then I'm fine.
I feel bad for him.
The cop or
Hey, pal, you're a caretaker around here somewhere?
but it's good to forget sometimes. So there's something to actually
Yeah,
look forward
blocking
to.
drama's great.
Yeah.
It definitely keeps you going.
You're all gonna forget this interview tomorrow.
Yeah. Until it comes out on fucking air. Yeah.
When did this happen?
Great, something else to talk to my therapist about.
That's another reason why we don't do video editing, because Jake, like, about, I don't know, every 2 or 3 minutes just stares off into the mid distance with wide eyes.
Yeah.
The flashbacks.
Come back to us, please.
Oh shit! Well, it was so fun having you guys on. I really appreciate you guys being able to do this. Don't stop doing what you're doing.
Don't know how.
I'd rather get like ostracized than stop.
We can do that.
Fucking out with my fans.
Levi, you got that knife around here? Let's ostracize him. I don't know what it means. I do know what it means. It's fine.
Oh, no.
It's where they take more than the. Never mind. Sorry.
There's too much.
If I wasn't going to do this thing, I was actually going to do a between two moils joke for the show, but we're between two GMs, so I was
Right.
gonna,
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, that's good.
And like how you guys are Meat Spin, Pink Fohawk, they were Lemon Party, Dark Day was. Dark Day was.
That's why the meat spin.
Yeah.
Because that's what you think of when you think of us.
Yeah.
I get it.
In my mind's eye, especially now that I can see your faces, this is gonna be so much better.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, he didn't share any of this with me. I was like, this is all
These are
revelation.
You generally don't share this with people.
No. I'm an open book.
Fuck.
But yeah, thanks for coming on. Anytime you guys want to you want to do if you guys want to do a trial live thing sometime, we could.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Bring you on and torture you.
We'll play Mork Borg.
Vampire.
We know how to do other things, okay?
We played other games.
We can do other things.
We could play a moody vampire game where we're all sad.
Actually,
We
I
all
really
play
want to do
Tremere.
that. I think that would be
Vampire
great.
the Masquerade.
Yeah. With
TRX
with,
/ AARPG.
Yeah.
Did I say TRX?
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
I don't know what that is.
we were talking about Twitter X.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But either
Or all
way,
the X-rated things we've been talking about today.
yeah, that's probably true.
No, thank you for having us as well.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and that's really all I could hope for. Really.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I couldn't imagine being on a very serious interview with somebody. It would never work for
I don't
us.
think we can handle serious.
No, we
we've
can't.
tried. Remember,
No.
I started an episode with like a really serious
It's
monologue.
like, what are you
And you're
doing?
Like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing now.
Stop. This is gross.
Yeah, no, that's It's always impossible.
Yeah, but yeah, terrific having you on. Yeah, can't say enough about these guys. Probably most people watching this probably already know who you are because we're in the same groups. Stratosphere.
There's definitely a Venn diagram.
lot of Swiss and German and French listener
We got
crossover.
a lot of Danish and Austrian. I
Yeah.
don't know what that's about. Who's out there? Do you think? Okay, I have a question for you guys. Technically, then,
Sure.
do you think that VPNs mess with that? Like with analytics?
Oh, probably.
Like, do you think we're like registering plays from countries that are really just a guy with a VPN? I'm wondering that myself.
No, we're
have
actually
a lot of
we
folks
have-
from Sweden and Denmark,
in Germany,
so Mork Borg and all that. I think we're catching
all the free league stuff. We're getting all those people.
Okay.
Yeah, we got like 10% of our listeners.
I was just looking through
it's
this
like in the UK, and I'm like, I don't think I've talked to
Were
more than
we-
like a single person that's actually in the UK.
Yeah.
We were like number 2 in some random
In Australia,
country.
the other-
Austria.
Yeah.
Austria.
Yeah.
We were number 2
On Apple
What
Apple
is this?
Podcasts under games. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I share the analytics with these guys quite a bit, and it's
Yeah,
like
I love
sometimes
my
goofy
anals.
stuff. Yeah, nothing like looking at some good anals.
I don't have access to it anymore, and I'm glad because I was checking that.
We gotta fix that
every few hours. No, don't do that to me.
Okay, I mean, I'm cool.
I'm addicted to it.
If you want to send me the episode every Thursday, that's fine with that.
I check the YouTube one way too often.
Me too. I have like a round of I do these things, multiple times a day. I check this a certain algorithm of apps.
It's a terrible habit. I'm trying to break it, but yeah, it doesn't
I'm
do
a dig
anybody any
deeper.
good. Yeah.
I'm gonna really lose it about it.
Oh yeah, thanks again, guys.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
We'll have to have you on our show one day to do something. Probably Mork Borg.
We might be nice.
Does it even matter?
Don't change anything. If you change anything, I will be super weird. Weirder.
So you gotta have Nathan on, and then be completely just like, it's like straight lace, like he's gonna be freaking out the whole time. Like, what's happening?
Then when he says anything inappropriate, just lose our shit about it.
Come on, Nathan. What?
It's gross, Nathan.
This is a family show. God.
Well, it's a show of people with families, but that's as far as that goes.
No, yeah.
That's a giant vagina monster. Don't you guys see that?
Don't use that word.
Monster?
Yes.
We'd love to collaborate some more.
Yeah.
Sure. I guess. I mean, I'm kind of busy.
All right, fine, fuck it. You know what?
All the brands rescinded.
Oh shit.
I quit the show.
Actually, we actually think we do talk about like having a rivalry. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
I guess we have to gang beat old men today. Not today, but like eventually.
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Gang bang.
I said gang
Not
beat.
bang.
I
Fuck.
You gotta end this or else it'll never end.
Minnesota goodbye. We'll be here forever.
That's
All right. It was fun game baiting.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Good night. Shut the fuck up.
Love you.
Bye.
Don't sniff glue.
Don't sniff glue. Play Mork Borg. Left is law.